2 out of 3 falls.
Like we always do at this time on a Tuesday night, my man Kenny Holt, how you doing?
Randy, man, I gotta say, we go for mine. We got the shine. It's so cold outside. I saw a penguin wearing a merman and some Ugg boots, bro. That's how fucking cool it is this fucking week, bro.
Hey, Benjamin, man, I know you're on the Bay, but over here in New York, man, we had a high of 19 degrees over here.
I heard. I was talking to Kaz and Brian earlier. They said it's very, very cold. I don't mean to brag. It was 60 degrees today. I went outside. 60. Went outside in some shorts. It was fantastic. Get some vitamin D.
Oh, gotta stop, man. I mean, the sun is out, but we got snow here. We got some freaking shit.
Yeah.
January said, "Yo, man, heard you had a nice November, a little nice December, but I'm here right now. This is my time."
Yeah, January is him. Yeah,
January is fucking that he's that guy. So he's taking over right now. But Kenny Holt at Cowabunga _K_E_N, myself, Randy J Cruz, RENDY. Letter J CRUZ. Find the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on Amazon Music. And most importantly, go to youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. Go ahead, download the rates, comment, like, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Show some love and support for your boys on the program. We are doing this live on X and YouTube following NXT. And if you are watching us, thank you. We really appreciate your love and support. But also joining us is my man Benjamin Cruz from the Ringer Wrestling Podcast at Cruise Control with a K on all social media platforms. Benjamin, my man, how you doing?
Randy, Kenny, thanks for having me back. I had this memory a couple of minutes before we hopped on. That the last time I was on the show, you guys aren't gonna remember this, but I remember it so vividly. I had norovirus right at the end of the show. Like, I had a stomach virus basically that I caught from my son because he'd caught it from a birthday party that we were at. And like, as soon as we ended the show, I remember hitting close. I closed out the browser. We stopped taping. I had to run to the back. Like, I was out for 3 days with the worst stomach virus I've ever had in my adult life. So I've checked in. I've checked all my vitals before we hopped on. I think I'm good. But I just want to let you know, the last memory I had of coming on the show, I was a little hesitant when Randy hit me. He was like, "You want to come on?" I was like, "Can I really endure another 3-day stomach virus?" But I'm here. I'm here for the content and here to talk some crap. So it's good to see you guys, man. It's good to see you guys.
Likewise, man. Always a pleasure, man. I know we spoke before we got on. I just want to say, as the people chime in, anybody got questions or feedback regarding NXT tonight, Raw last night, upcoming Saturday night main event this weekend, obviously the Rumble in a week and a half, but I just want to say publicly, man, you are a really good dude, man. You look out for a lot of people, and you looked out for me last year during WrestleMania weekend in Vegas, man. SummerSlam weekend. I'm not in those rooms without you and the Ringer family, Shoemaker, Brian Waters, Kaz. You guys always show me love, and I show you love right back, man. I'm looking forward to Mania weekend in Vegas. I know we're all going to probably be out there, have some fun, and do it all over again, bro.
2.0. We're going to run it back. No, but shout out to you, though. I'll put you over on this. If y'all don't know about Randy's photo skills, do some research because this dude has the amount of fire that he has just sent us after coming into these rooms with us and just taking pictures and videos of just us. You know, we're very lucky and very blessed to be able to talk to some of these people in WWE at the events that Randy just mentioned. But he's there to capture all these moments, and it's fire. It's straight fire every single time. So, you know, you're the man, bro. So appreciate you always.
No, I appreciate it, man. Before we get started, let the people know what you do with the Ringer. How long you been there?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I am now approaching year 4, which is crazy. My senior year here at the Ringer.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm a podcast manager here. I also am one of the co-hosts on the Ringer Wrestling Show. I work on our some of our NBA content. The Press Box, if anyone listens to the Press Box, which David Shoemaker, who's also the Masked Man,
That's right.
is also one of the co-hosts on. But yeah, man, doing our thing. So, check us out. Check our NBA shows out on Netflix if you haven't already.
Yeah. All right. Now on Netflix. Yeah, man. So we got a couple things to talk about. Obviously, mainly because we usually do the post show on Monday nights following Raw, but obviously with the scheduling overseas, we're working during the afternoon, so we don't get a chance
Yeah.
at nighttime. Yo, man, let's rock out at the Tuesday at the NXT and see what we got going on. So, my boy Noob, hey man, right, I got you. My man Noob is always here, no matter what. Whether I got 1 viewer, 100, 200, my man's always here, so I always appreciate him. He's a big Oscar fan, so look out for some Oscar comments at some point in time. But Ben, let's get right to it, man. Obviously, I watched Raw last night, and one of the big things to talk about is the possible career match between AJ Styles and Gunther. So I put that up on the screen. So I guess we don't know. I think it's Rumble.
Yep.
They're saying Rumble, Gunther, AJ. AJ's career will be on the line. They fought before. Gunther won last week on Raw. What do you think about this match happening again, but now with the fact that AJ Styles' career is on the line? And do you feel like this could be AJ's last match, or do you feel like this could be a 1-1 situation and they got to run it back some point in time in the future?
Man, initially when they announced it, I thought there was no way that this was AJ's last match, right? I just thought, they'll, like you said, they'll square it up 1-1. They'll have the rubber match, Mania, some point in the future. But the more I thought about it, I think this could be it. And
really,
the reason why I say that is because it will be, I believe, and someone fact check me on this, but I'm pretty sure this will be 10 years of AJ Styles in WWE, right?
Correct.
His debut at the Royal Rumble. So if he goes out, that's 10 solid years. He did his time. He accomplished damn near everything in the company. And what an incredible way to go out. He did say 2026 was his last year. He did not say I'll be wrestling for all of 2026. Now, that would be a huge curveball, right? And you can have all these questions and arguments about whether, that's the proper send-off for AJ Styles in WWE. And you could say no. We maybe we want more of a lead up. Maybe we want more time with AJ, right?
Yeah.
But we can't do another Cena retirement tour. Right, that's just a disservice.
Yeah,
AJ, right? Because you're following the GOAT with someone who is maybe not a GOAT, but he's an all-timer, right? So this would be a hell of a way to go out. I think it's gonna happen. Like I think they're gonna throw us that curveball where I think this may be his last match. I think he'll still like pop in here and there. You know what I mean? Throughout the year, but the more I thought about it, I think this could be it for AJ, and I could be in the minority. I don't know. I haven't even looked at the reaction to this. I'm curious as to what you guys think.
Before Kenny chimes in, I'll be quick. I think it's to your point about it being 10 years that when he debuted in the company at the same event, Royal Rumble, it does have that storybook kind of feel. Like I debuted at the Rumble. I'm gonna call it a wrap at the Rumble 10 years later. But it's like, I mean, could AJ? It's like this. We know he's going to retire this year. Just a matter of when. Now, if they happen to say, all right, AJ is going to go over in this one, and then what? You're going to run him back one more time in a Mania and then put your career on the line again? Like if this was WrestleMania and he said, yo, bro, I got one more shot at you and I put my career on the line, like we know you're retiring anyway. It's just a matter of why jump the gun for a Rumble as opposed to waiting to Mania. But your story about 10 years debuting at the Rumble kind of makes sense.
Yeah. yeah, I mean, Kenny, I'm really curious as to what you think, because I feel like I just came to this realization like earlier today, and I don't know if I was going crazy.
Go ahead, Kate.
That was pretty good, especially with that connection, man, with the 10 years. That would be a really good lead up, especially how this is all going down. This will be the second meetup. This will be their second meetup, and you could say for one thing about wrestling, man, everything that we've seen is nothing new under the sun. They will constantly replay it. This is the Triple H versus Cactus Jack angle. I'll put your career on the line, No Way Out 2000. And so that got me thinking. I'm like, all right, they're playing this angle. Will they do it at the Rumble? But then I was also thinking, too, I'm like, for AJ to go out at the Royal Rumble, that's not to say that's not a big event, but I'm like, at the Rumble, and then Gunther probably was going to wrestle later on at the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, I'm like, what if this match, this match can go out, because Gunther is now labeling himself as like an 80s villain. He's not going to play fair. What if Gunther gets himself disqualified? What if he gets himself disqualified in the match? It's some way that AJ will lose or win the match. And then guess what? AJ comes, he may cost Gunther his Rumble spot. Might get him to go over the top rope. Now, if we could build this up to to 3 matches. We already saw Raw where Gunther tapped out, but no one saw it. AJ knew he tapped out. They fight at Royal Rumble. We have this big stipulation, but we don't put Gunther over AJ just yet at the Rumble. Build this up between both of them, like they have something to lose. AJ's career, but Gunther's spot at WrestleMania. Then now we got a tiebreaker. Now we got to do this big grudge match. Where to do it at WrestleMania? If Gunther versus AJ Mania, this will be some big build up. The future, like the villain versus the career of AJ Styles. Yes, it'll probably be longer. Yes, it probably will take more. But I think that could be a real proper send off. You send off AJ on one of the grandest stages of them all, and he has him lose to Gunther, probably not even by a tap out. I could say Gunther could probably make AJ passed out. Nominally, he might just go out like that. And I think that really saves AJ's legacy. He'll just never fight. He won't give up, but I think that's a proper way to send off the career of AJ Styles by the ring general Gunther.
What do you think, Ben?
That's interesting in that I like the idea of Gunther doing it on purpose just to get another match, right? I think that's diabolical. It's deceiving. I think Gunther right now, he's probably as hot as he's ever been. I think on the main roster, even being the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, his 2 world title reigns, like at some point, all 3 of those title reigns, they kind of ran out of steam, like toward the end of all of them, right? Where we were like, everyone was super juiced when he won the titles, but then eventually you're like, all right, like there's something about him just wasn't clicking like toward the end of those, and then there's a refresh. This legend killer type persona that he's adopted in the last couple of months. Obviously, he's invoking Goldberg and now Cena, and now he's targeting AJ. I think if you give him that gas, right, with him retiring AJ, which no one's going to expect, because I think to Kenny's point is, I think it would make sense just logistically to have AJ go over, right? And you set up a 3rd match at some point, whether it's Mania or some other point. As I'm thinking this through, I feel like what you could do, some giant loophole, is you have AJ lose. Everyone's shocked. You have a moment at Rumble. The whole roster comes out on the stage or whatever to give the round of applause to AJ. And we think he's gone. We think he's done. I feel like he's going to come back at a TNA event and wrestle one more match. And like, that's the actual send off. Like that, his last match will be his last actual match in 2026. His retirement match will actually be in TNA. Right. So you wrap up this WWE chapter, 10 solid years, 2016 and 2026, and then you have your last match, you know, TNA on AMC or whatever, Slammiversary.
AMC,
Pick any of those events that you want to, and you have AJ do it there. I feel like that's a possibility if Gunther were to win. I really think it's a pretty firm coin toss, I feel like, but I'm still leaning more Gunther winning and AJ losing. But to Kenny's ideas is it makes sense, and it's also, if that happens, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Like, all right, I think them using that career on the line thing is early. It's like, all right, if AJ wins, all right, it's 1-1, and if we're gonna run it back at Mania, what's the next stipulation? Like, is my career safe? I don't know. My career could be safe, but now you got to find that grudge kind of stipulation to end the feud. Now Gunther could go over, and then AJ's a wrap. Then it's like, damn, like Royal Rumble, Saudi, AJ, all right, we're done. To your point, he could pull up at a TNA show and then be the final send off when it comes to that. Or he could fight someone from TNA at WrestleMania. I don't know how does he want to do it, but I just felt like, I don't mind seeing them do it again, part 2. But it's like put the career on the line at a Rumble, because how many times the person has put their career on the line has won that match?
Right.
Shawn didn't do it. I'm pretty sure some other guys didn't do it. I know Flair was winning until he got to Shawn, but not many people win their career match when it's on the line. So the odds are not in favor for AJ, but in this day and age, he could get one over on Gunther, and which I think could kind of help, because I don't know what Gunther's path for WrestleMania would be if he beats AJ Styles, because we hear rumors of Brock Lesnar and this and that. Does he win the Rumble? I mean, he could, but I don't see it happening. So it's like, what's my path to Mania? Is it AJ and AJ will be done after Mania? I could see that, but they have a couple of options to pick from.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very interesting development on Raw, right? I mean, I totally understood the whole, Gunther doesn't want to work double duty that night, which I thought was very, very funny. Just like, I don't want to work twice. I was like, actually, I kind of feel that we're all working individuals. Once you're done your one thing, you do your 9 to 5, you want to go home, right? Unless you paid over that. So it was a very, very funny response, but to see the idea hit him, I think it's more intriguing than them just running it back. Right. And if it was just, how like typically in these wrestling feuds, when they build it, it progressively gets more, right? Kind of how Drew and Cody had their 3 stages of hell, quote unquote. It just progressively got more intense and more aggressive, right? Regular match, falls count anywhere, steel cage. Like, there's a progression here. And to go almost from, to your point, Randy, it feels early, but I feel like that's the reason why they might pull the trigger, is because our wrestling brains are trained to think that, there's going to be a blow off match, which there still very well could be. Yeah. But I feel like they're setting us up for something where we're looking at each other, maybe this is the semi-main at Rumble, and we're like, AJ's done. That's nuts.
Because of the story you mentioned about 10-year debut at the Rumble. I think that's a major play. Like, I could end it right here. I debuted here. I'm ending here, and it's over.
Hey, Ben, why do you think, from credit to your point, why do you think that it would be good for AJ Styles to retire in the home that he's built versus, going out on the E? How did you make that connection and come up with that synopsis?
I think obviously he showed up on TNA during their AMC debut, which I just think right now with that working partnership with WWE and TNA, I think WWE's actually been doing a pretty solid job of including TNA in kind of their programming and vice versa. And when the way that Cena put AJ over during their match at Crown Jewel, and they dropped the TNA reference, and it's just talked about a ton on WWE TV now, right? AJ's history over there, and kind of, I mean, during the mid 2000s, I was a very casual TNA fan, right? I started watching because I started watching when like Christian jumped ship, right, and became Christian Cage.
Yeah.
So, but then that's where I became familiar with AJ Styles, and as much as the Kurt Angles of the world, the Samoa Joes of the world were synonymous with TNA. Even now, when I think of TNA, the first wrestler that I think of is AJ, and I think that'd just be a great way for him to really put a bow on what's a Hall of Fame career, right, in both companies.
Yeah.
So that's why my mind went there, and I could be wrong. It's just there's something sitting there where it's just in wrestling, we're used to wrestlers going out on their backs, right? Like that's just the story that's always told with their careers. I just think this could be a nice ending for AJ Styles, right? Whether he wins or loses that last match, to have one more match. Shit, make it. What was this? What was the shape of that ring? Like the 8-sided ring,
the 6-sided ring.
That shit was insane.
Yeah,
put him in that in his last match. You know what I mean?
Imagine.
So I'm just thinking. I'm trying to think outside the box with AJ, because they can't just do the Cena thing. They already did the Cena retirement tour where we knew the ending. Give us something different with AJ. You almost have to.
Facts. New old boy Gunther is going to make AJ tap out like a bitch. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
man.
I mean, okay. Would you want AJ to tap? AJ to tap out? Would you want AJ to tap out or just lose? Like,
I think he
clean?
passes out. I'd rather have him pass out or take a 3.
Yeah, I think you got to do. Well, he's taking the 3 already. He got pinned. I
So
know that he cheated.
He'll do what everybody wanted Cena to do, which is like pass out.
Pass the hell out. I don't think so, but
come on, if he makes AJ tap out, like damn.
He's making everyone tap. Well,
he's making everybody tap out. Honestly, that'd be good for Gunther's character. Like to give him more than just like an evil European dude. He's like, oh, he's a dude. He's literally selling shirts right now that say tapped out like a little bit. You gotta sell more of those shirts.
But when he gets Brock, that's gonna happen. Is Brock gonna tap out?
Hell to the fuck no.
Brock gonna just fall asleep.
Brock is going. Brock may not fall asleep. He's gonna say, "Pin me."
He might take.
I can't see they're in a meeting and Triple H is like, Brock, guess what? Have this idea. We're going to have you do a little tappy tap. Brock's going to kill him.
I'm just saying,
rip Triple H's throat out.
I would respect it a lot more if Brock says, yo, I'm with it. Like, because listen, he lost to Goldberg in 20 seconds, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm saying to get him to tap is just like adding extra fuel to Gunther's fire. Like, nah, he made Cena tap. He made AJ tap. Now he gonna make Brock Lesnar tap out?
Okay, I'll give you. If he does it, he's got to do it more than just a standard sleeper. Because have you seen Brock's neck? That man's neck is the size of a desk. You know what I mean? Like, how are you even wrapping your arms around this dude's neck to make him lose the oxygen that's flowing to his brain? That would make it doesn't. It would have to be like wrapped around the ring post, or he's using a chain. Like there's no rules in this one, and he's using something that's ridiculous to actually make him pass out or tap out. It would have to be insanely aggressive.
A basic sleeper ain't gonna do it for Brock. No. AJ, Cena, but a regular Roddy Piper sleeper like this, not for Brock.
Yeah,
it's got to be a stipulation kind of match.
I can imagine
to make that happen. What else we got here down the pipeline? All right, so if you also watched Raw last night, we We saw a Nattie turn on Maxxine Dupri.
Man,
Definitely saw that, and it sounds like
Friend
y'all
of the
two got
show.
something to say. A friend of the show who came on with us last month, promote the book and what she got going on, and she kept throwing the little tidbits of like the Nattie and this and that, the dungeon, and it's like, yo, I know. It's like we knew this was gonna happen. It was just a matter of when, and I got to ask you right off the jump. Do you think they pulled this trigger of Nattie turning on Maxxine Dupri too early or way before than what you expected?
Oh, so I don't think I expected it at all, which is what
really.
Yeah, because Nattie's been such a just a good hand, right? And she's that figure both on screen and off. That is just, Cole says it on the show. He's like, she's the locker room leader. Like, how could she do this? And, Nattie's been in WWE now for a very, very long time. You kind of figure she settled just into almost like it was almost like she was the Miz for all the women, right? Who are just like that figure who are going to be it. So in the Miz's case, he's always going to be a heel, right?
Yeah.
But obviously he's in, locker room leader in the back. And you just kind of figure that Nattie would be that type of figure, but kind of the opposite, the babyface version of that. And I'll say this though, she comes on this show one time and she turns heel. So I don't know what you guys did to her during this conversation.
That's Randy.
Yeah, Randy, your influence on Nattie hasn't gone unseen. I'll say that.
I mean, listen, man, we didn't say, yo, it's time for a heel turn. 2026 is your year. Like, she would just, again, we saw the character in Bloodsport, NWA,
badass,
absolute
badass.
And I'm like, I know this is gonna happen soon. Now, from a storyline standpoint, all right, Maxxine won the IC title. We saw a couple of vignettes. I thought there would be more vignettes from the dungeon. And then she lost to Becky. And then she lost a rematch. So now maybe from a storyline standpoint, she probably got Maxxine got too overconfident, too big-headed, and Nattie has to like reel her back into reality. Hey, listen, I know you won a title, but you lost it within a month or so. You lost a rematch. I taught you everything that you were supposed to do, and you didn't do it. So now you're making me look crazy out here. That I'm training you, and now you're just like blundering all over the place. So now, what has to happen? I have to come in myself and show you that this is how shit is gonna be ran from now on. And but what threw me off was when she put the Becky's foot on the rope.
Yeah,
she can attack Maxxine, whatever, but now you blatantly make her lose by putting Becky's foot on the rope, and then she has this face like yo, like what's up, man? Like what you gonna do about it?
To her face,
because
Finn did the same thing to Priest at not this past SummerSlam, but the year before. But he did the thing where he did it and turned his back. He couldn't even make eye contact with this dude. Nattie did it and then stared her in the face. It was diabolical.
Yeah. So what do you? How do you think the execution of it? Like, were you surprised? Were you more like, oh shit, what's going on over here?
I mean, I think it's great for Nattie specifically because I do think she deserves to put some work in. You know what I mean? In a different way, because I think she has kind of character-wise been the same for a couple of years now, right? So this is almost like a refresh, and you might as well try it, right? You might as well try the heel Nattie because that's the biggest reaction. I mean, her kicking the shit out of Maxxine for a couple of segments was, and I mean this with no disrespect, it's just that might be the biggest reaction Nattie's gotten in a couple of years, right? I think everyone's always happy to see Nattie when she comes out, right? And she's obviously a legend in her own right, but in terms of storylines and stories that they've told for her, this is probably the biggest thing that's hit in a very, very long time. I'm trying to like think back to even the last time people reacted in that way. You know what I mean? With Nattie specifically. So, and I think that this is kind of doubles as a plus for Maxxine, because they clearly see something in her that they want to get over. And, you know, she's still a little green in the ring. You can still see, you know, the timing's not quite there at times. But to get her to work with Nattie, who, again, you mentioned the vignettes earlier. The vignettes are sick, or they were sick when they were running them. There was just a badassness to them. It just looked like Maxxine knew everything that she was doing. And obviously there was a pre-taped, this, that, and the third. But her working with Nattie, I think, in front of a crowd will just elevate her to the next level. And I think so. There's almost like a double benefit to this Nattie turn.
Got it. Kenny, talk to me. Natalya, Nattie turns on Maxxine Dupri.
Well, man, I don't know if I was just observing, like, at the beginning of the match, you know, Maxxine was in the back. I'm like, oh, Natalya. But I'm like, in ring gear. What can this be about? I'm like, ring gear. She's coming out. I'm like, she got her ring gear. I was like,
I wonder why.
Yeah. So it was like, I ain't going to hold you. It was like something in the back of my mind. I'm thinking like, all right, if Maxxine was to lose, was she going to try to go challenge against Becky? But
true,
I could say when I saw when she put the foot on the rope and then she just dead looked at her, that was more like a perfect move like that. I was just like, oh, so now, you know, Nattie, I'm like, yeah, now guess what? This is one of the things like, hey, guess what? Y'all love Natalya, but now y'all really ain't ready for Nattie. Like, y'all think y'all want Nattie? I'm gonna show y'all why Nattie's not someone to fuck with. Like, this isn't PG. This ain't PG. This ain't even damn sure PG-13. This is what they say in every preview for a movie. Rated R. You gotta come with your parents for this one.
That's right.
Now, I would have loved to see as well that, you know, when Nattie went to the ring, she would have I know she was beating the brakes off her, but I'm talking about like if we added in, like, you know, the timekeeper ringing the bell because Nattie was whooping her ass like the 1st and 15th. So like that, or even like, yo, give her the work. We saw the sharpshooter put her in some arm bars.
That's right.
Choke the life out of her. Hell, I would have loved to see if Maxxine would have got some color, because if you want to say this is blood sport, let's live up to that. Let's pretend this is Jean-Claude. Maybe the Congo. Let's get some blood going. Let's get some of that. Let's make a reference to pop culture, to a movie, and let's do that right now. Like, if this is blood sport, yo, live up to that shit. Let's see blood rolling. Let's see, like, you know, give her almost like you're gonna break her arm. Kimura lock. Let's do the sharpshooter constantly. And guess what? When she leaves, she's gonna come back and still wail on that ass. Ring the bell. Guess what? People coming out. She's not letting go. To the point like Maxxine's not able to walk. That's the Nattie. I mean,
look at the face she's making. Like, it's not a face. It's a face like
this ain't the Hitman. This ain't the Hearts. This is like, I got your ass.
What's also interesting is I think this is a big test for Nattie going into next week, because obviously they're in Canada. Can you make what SmackDown's in Montreal, Saturday Night's Main Event I believe is in Montreal too, right? And then that Monday is in Toronto, so like they're kind of on the eastern part of Canada. If she, you know, typically they'll run Nattie out there when they're in Canada just for that cheap pop, right? And you know, they kind of do that with her and Sami Zayn on occasion. But if Nattie can get, you know, that heat when she goes, you know, to her home country, I think that's gonna be a big test. And if she can do it, kind of like how Becky, you know, drew heat in Ireland, right? Drew getting heat in the UK despite being champion. Like, those are the ultimate tests on like your character work. Ultimately, is when you go home, can you still take in the cheers, those initial, you know, homecoming cheers, but then can you make them turn on you to believe your character as opposed to them knowing where you're from? So it's gonna be a big test for Nattie on Monday.
And I think what's gonna be important is, to me, I felt Monday was the end of the Natalia character. And I think what should happen on Raw in Canada is the next time you see Nattie, she's in like the black hoodie. She's in that kind of outfit.
Yeah.
To solidify, yo, what I did last week ended my character with Maxxine. Now, because if she pulls up in the black hoodie in the low key legend joint, the crowd might pop for her.
Right.
So it's a thin line. Like, damn, if I pull up as Natalia, are they gonna boo me in my own country? Maybe. But if I pull up as low key legend, now you probably get the cheers. Now, what do you do with Maxxine? Is she Maxxine not the heel in this situation? It's Nattie, but that crowd reaction is gonna be very important when Nattie does pull up. So it just she's got to pull up in that low key legend black hoodie shit, right?
With the mouth guard.
With the like, just looking for a fight. It might be a promo. Like, if she's gonna be there, don't do no backstage joint. She has to be out in the ring doing something in that outfit.
Pull someone from the crowd. You know how they plant, an indie wrestlers from the area and they to do some shit. Plant an indie wrestler she's got that, the blood sport gear on, and she's cutting a promo, heel promo, and then just pull someone in the ring and start beating the shit out of them. That you want to see some color, but like an indie wrestler that can get a little blade action going on, and then that's that. Nattie deserves to experiment with this at this point, right? She's done so much incredible work to kind of elevate the women's division as a whole, and she's one of the OGs to do it. So let her go, man. Let her fly.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty good.
It's about that time. So the person who Maxxine lost to was Becky Lynch. She's still the Intercontinental Champion. So I'm kind of jumping the gun here, but for those who have not seen Unreal Season 2, go ahead, check it out. I've seen the first 2, but in the main first episode, it's about Becky Lynch. So what she did say, and I'll get it verbatim in a second, but we're talking like this might be the final contract of her career. How long that contract is, I'm not too sure as we tape this, but she said this is probably it. This is the final run. This is the final contract. So I suppose it's a matter of knowing that and to understand that and enjoy that the best I can. So she's been there. Becky's been 10, 11, 12?
2014.
2014. So we're going on 12 years. We're damn with Becky Lynch. Listen, she's been there, done that. World champion, main event, WrestleMania. People call her the GOAT. Not just us calling it, but many other outlets are saying it.
Sports Illustrated.
That's right. Bleacher Report.
Bleacher Report.
The Bleacher Report, which needs to drop the. It's fine.
The Bleacher Report.
I mean, she got beef with Busted Open Radio, so she wants to create her own channel. But so Ben, what do you think about if this is indeed the final run of Becky's career? It could be 3, 4, 5 more years. We don't know, but if this is the final run. What do you make of? Not saying she's gonna retire tomorrow, but what do you make of Becky's career? Where is she for you? Top 5, 3, the greatest woman wrestler of all time. Where do you put her at?
I mean, I'll start with kind of answering, is this in terms of her final run? It would make absolute sense, right? She's 38 years old. It's great. I didn't realize her and I were kind of the same age, but
wow.
She clearly has sights set on things beyond WWE, right? She was just in Happy Gilmore 2 last summer, right? It's one of the most streamed movies of all time. I think it's the most streamed movie on Netflix of all time. That's just not me saying it. That's numbers. But her and Seth live in LA now with their kid, and WWE, as we all know, it takes you on the road a lot, right? And I'm sure her and Seth get paid very, very well, but there's still a lot of travel involved, right? Where,
of course, yeah.
One, I'm sure they found out ways to bring their daughter along, or they got to leave her at home, and then they a lot of travel back and forth. So as a from a parent standpoint, logistically, I think it makes a ton of sense that this would be her last run, because look, she may still do movies and still travel and still be involved in WWE, but she'll be able to control that more, right? She'll be able to control her travel schedule more, be around to watch her daughter grow up. But maybe her and Seth want to have a second kid. I don't know, but from a life standpoint, it would make sense that she would say, I've achieved everything in this company and in this business, right? Like, what, I don't have to hang on until, back in the day when if you were wrestling, you felt the need to hang on longer than you probably had to or wanted to, because that was it, right? Wrestling was not as global as it is now, right? It doesn't have the visibility it has now, and she has a ton of eyes on her, right? I know her agent. You know what I mean? Like, I know for a fact. It's so
she in Star Trek. She's
in Star Trek. She's doing stuff, man. She's and so her being at the end. The biggest part that I somehow left out, if she goes on to Hollywood or wherever she goes next, she won't have to take another bump in her life, right? At some point, these bumps take their toll on you. And her book, which her audiobook was fantastic. I listened to it in one round trip drive from the Bay to LA. She's been wrestling since she was like a kid, right? Since she was like in freaking high school. So, we look at it as she's 38. She's been around. So what did you say, Kenny? It's like 2014. She's been in WWE, right? So for us, it's only 12 years. For her, it's more like what, 20, right? So that type of career will take its toll on you. So I believe it. I believe that she's near the end, and there would be no shame in that. Now, in terms of where she lies, kind of, on my personal list, she's probably top 3 for me. I still got Trish up there, and I think it's just Trish and Lita have just always been my 1 and 2, honestly.
Okay.
And obviously for everything that they've laid foundationally for the women now. And look, at the end of it, Sasha Banks or the Mercedes Moné might be in this top 3.
That's right.
Bailey might be in the top. Charlotte might be in the top 3. I think Becky, though, the way that her career exploded in the way that it did is something I'll never, like, when that SmackDown Raw invasion, she gets color,
bloody,
right? That accidental knock by Nia Jax, and that's one of the most iconic things that that was the birth of the man, right? So, and as there, I think she's not even technically, like, in the ring, technically the best wrestler of the 4 horsewomen, but in terms of star power and everything you want from a professional wrestler, a sports entertainer, she is it. So for me, she's top 3.
Kenny, talk to me. What you got? We got Becky, and just her saying this might be her final go around.
I would place Becky. I can't even do it like a top 3 or top 4. Like, she would definitely be in the top 10. She would be in my top 10 of all-time women's wrestlers. Even so, she would be in the top 5. Like, you can't say anything about Becky Lynch's career. I mean, starting off with the, because she's from Ireland, the Irish, swing. She did the, the river dance when she first debuted. The jig, yeah, man. But like, it's like Blossom. We got that to everything, and then this debuted for the man, the bloody nose that she took the punch from Nia. But one thing that really sold me about Becky, there was a moment on Raw. I think the crowd, I forgot where they were, but the crowd was like booing what Becky was saying, or I guess they were like booing for the women. Becky just went at the crowd and she cut their whole ass. Like, she told them off, saying, well, you got women here that are doing this and doing that, showing up for and the crowd just like, oh, and she was just telling them off, but she didn't back down. For one thing you could say, Becky Lynch always was about building the new talent and uplifting the women's roster. She was one of the pioneers, along with Bayley, I would say Charlotte, hell, Sasha as well. Like, those four, they all helped upgrade and uplift the new rise of the women's division, leaving the Divas Championship behind and going further into the matches that we have, that we introduced, the Bianca Belairs, the Nia Jax, the Liv Morgans, the Rhea Ripleys. That don't come from the attitude who Becky Lynch is. And with that, we could just look at it right now. Becky's career, right now, she's worked with, Lyra Valkyria. She's worked back again with her four horsewoman companion, Bayley. She's worked with, the likes of going against Nia again. She's worked with now Maxxine, and that's one thing that is like a sponge for Maxxine to work under Becky.
Yeah.
So that's just like top 5. I'm not a family man. But I understand that, family means everything. And one thing about it, this, as much as we want fans and we want you to not go, but you got to do what's best for you. The longevity is family is everything. So Becky wants to see her daughter grow up. As you said, I didn't even know she was 38. She doesn't want to take these bumps anymore. And she wants to be able to walk with her daughter to school and do all the necessary things of being a parent is. And so, I still would like to see her function for, 2-3 years, but we don't know how long that is. We just got to enjoy her for what she's doing. She's killing it right now with the IC title. We're just waiting to see who's the next one that's going to take it off. Maybe she might give it to Nattie, because Nattie hasn't won that title yet. So
could be that could be something, because obviously, we all tapped into social media and everybody's saying AJ Lee could be the match at WrestleMania. I'm just like, if they do it, you got the Rumble in like 2 weeks, so you gotta start something now, because if AJ don't pop out the Rumble or whatever, then it's like, then who is next in line for Becky Lynch? I mean, Nattie and Becky could be kind of fire, but if you're doing all that WrestlePalooza AJ Lee stuff and AJ cost Becky the IC title at the Garden, at some point in time they got to get in the ring and scrap. But it's like, AJ got to pop out at some point in time. If it ain't the Rumble, then when? Chamber or Raw? Like, what are we doing?
Man, AJ and Becky they've got to get in the ring one more time. I feel like at least one more time, maybe twice. It's basically WrestleMania season at this point. So they're going to be in the ring at some point. It might be at the Rumble, right? I think that'll be a good moment. That Mania match though would be fantastic. I think that's a star powered match, right? Even if it's for the IC title, right? If you want to make, I think the women's tag division right now is loaded. It's so like they got some of their biggest stars in there right now, right? So, and then you got Jay doing her thing on SmackDown. You have Stephanie when she comes back. Like, they have their own challengers, so it kind of leaves Becky open for an AJ situation. Honestly, I always like when the mid card titles are challenged by multiple people at Mania, right? So if it's a Becky, AJ, Nattie, Maxxine situation, I'm kind of in on that, right? Just kind of like past and present type of thing. I also think shout out to Becky for making Maxxine in every match that they've had look like $1 million. She's selling her ass off for Maxxine Dupri. right? And I think that's just helped build Maxxine to this point where you know, this is all fantasy booking. You can obviously drop whoever you want name wise. If you had told me a year ago I'd be fantasy booking Maxxine Dupri in a freaking WrestleMania match,
Mm-hmm.
I would have slapped myself in the face. You know what I mean? But it's just like where we're at. Just where we're at with her. So and shout out to Becky for that.
But I put you in the writers' room. If you're Paul, you're Bruce Pritchard, you're these guys we see on Unreal, right? You get Becky and AJ WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. Who goes over?
You got to give it to AJ because I think she doesn't have as many matches. I don't think she's gonna be. She's not here for a long time. I think she's here for a good time, and I mean that in the most complimentary way possible.
I agree.
Right. So, I don't think she needs. She's been a world champion, right? But
Now,
in a past iteration,
is that to take Becky away from IC and now put her into World Heavy?
I feel like you.
Or you want
to
keep Becky here?
No, I feel like Becky's got to have one more world title run because I think the last couple ones she's had have gotten almost unfair criticism, if you will, because it's like, oh, here she. I remember when she came back. They're kind of like Becky Hogan and shit. And you're like, what are we talking about? Like, you really think she's not trying to put people over the way that Hogan was? So, and there's a reason why she's a star. There's a reason why she's elevated there's a reason why she's elevating the Intercontinental Championship now to the point where we're talking about it for a future WrestleMania match, right?
Yeah.
So, there are plenty of matches. Like, who wouldn't want to see her versus Stephanie Vaquer at any point for the World Championship, right? If Stephanie's still the champion,
yeah.
So her versus Liv, her versus Roxanne, her versus Raquel, like Becky Lynch is, and her and Seth are very similar. It's so funny that they're married, right? They're so similar in that when they're standing next to their opponent, it makes their opponent 25% more important.
Like they shine right.
And that right. And that may be way too low of a number. And I'm just trying not to get hyperbolic with it. But they're very similar that they can get their opponent over in a way that is a skill that not enough of us talk about. I think we're just always like, is this a 5-star match? Can they do all this flippy shit? Blah, blah, blah. Can you get your opponent over? Right, I think it's almost one of the it's like wrestling 101, and Becky and Seth are incredible at it.
That's a fact. Yeah. Our next up, real quick, we got a few entrants into the Women's Royal Rumble. Breaking news: the Rumble was a week and a half from now. So most were like, "Hey man, so who's in the Rumble? Where's the spice? Where's the promotion, where's all that?" So we had a plethora of people go on Raw and say, I'm declaring, I'm in the Rumble. And those people include Liv, Raquel, Bailey, Lyra, Asuka, Io, Rhea, and Roxanne. So we got 8 out of 30 into the Women's Royal Rumble. Ben, we've been talking about this Women's Rumble match for the last couple of weeks. So who's gonna win? Who's the final 4, final 8? And it can swindle every single time we do a show. But as we stand today, I'll probably go Liv as my number 1 choice, and then to win, yeah.
Okay,
I think she'll win.
Okay.
If I had a plan B, my plan B would be only if Bianca came back in this Rumble.
Okay.
I would go with Bianca. Could I see like a Raquel win? Yeah. Could I see a Rhea Ripley win? Yeah. Could I see Asuka? No. I think the main 3 are going to be like the Roxanne, Liv, and Bianca. And a dark horse is Raquel out of all these entrants. So who do you have right now as your potential favorite to win the Women's Royal Rumble match?
I've had Bianca for a while now, and I think it's because Jade is the current. I think she challenges Jade of the two champions.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying this one because Bianca's obviously been injured for damn near a year now, right? She got injured at Mania last year.
Yo, full year, bro. No,
almost.
Bianca
It's almost been a year, and I understand her. Like she broke like her hand or her knuckle or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like I forgot what interview I saw her do this in, but she basically said like the surgery or the recovery, something funky happened along the way. I say all this to say, I think that Jade needs her, especially in this WrestleMania match, to help make her look as good as she possibly can. Because as much as I enjoy Jade Cargill, I love Jade Cargill. I think she's
Me
a
too,
fantastic watch. I think there's no one who is challenging her, or like even like, okay, the Jordan Grace of it all, right? Like, okay, I could see Jordan Grace winning the championship off of Jade Cargill. Sure, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
But when they stand next to each other, you're like, Jade's like 3 feet taller than you.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Superior, more superior.
Yeah, just physically more superior and imposing than Jordan Grace. And Jordan Grace is jacked too, which is not Bianca Belair. And we've seen this when they were the part of the big three and they were teaming together. There was just something about them that they just always looked like equals, right? It was like a height thing. It was the way that they would cut promos. It was just their energy and their vibe where you're like, and to that, the energy, vibe, cutting promos, like Bianca still, I think, leaps and bounds ahead of Jade Cargill. And I think that she could really help build a nice feud because they honestly never really resolved kind of the issues surrounding the Naomi piece of this, right? Like Bianca was kind of stuck in the middle of them two going back and forth during, when Naomi said it was her. So we knew at some point Jade and Bianca would have to throw hands.
Yeah.
And I think now is the right time. Bianca's been off screen for a while. Naomi's still off screen. And Jade, I think I'm sorry. I'm not buying Michin can take the title off of her. I'm not buying that B-Fab can take the title off of her. Like, I know they're starting to maybe float the Chelsea Green part, which I would be a huge fan of. I just don't think WWE has the balls to make it Chelsea Green and Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, right? So, out of all that, I think you bring back Bianca. She wins the Rumble. She goes after Jade, and now I'm locked in because the Jade title run has been fine so far. I just haven't been as locked in as I thought it would be for when she was champion or for when she finally won the championship. If that makes sense. Am I off base with that? I'm curious.
No.
You guys
you're good. I got a few things I know Kenny want to tap in, so I got one more question. And I got
go ahead.
2 from Noob. So let's just say there is no Bianca at the Rumble.
Okay.
Who's the pick now?
I would go Rhea. I think because I could see her going after either title, and that's either way is a compelling match. Physically, it's a compelling match with her and Jade, and then her and Stephanie. I mean, come on, like that on paper. I don't know who, as a wrestling fan, isn't tuning into that.
And then plus B, the fact that Stephanie was showing her ankle, like looking like type crazy. Now, we don't know the full severity of the injury and how long she might be missing time, or she could be healed up by the Rumble. We have no idea. But as of right now, it's looking like they're aiming towards Steph and Raquel to do something, which could, let's just say, fantasy book. Let's say Steph and Raquel do a one-on-one at the Rumble, and then let's say Raquel beats Stephanie, and then Liv wins the Rumble. Then you can have a potential Liv Raquel match at Mania, which I won't be upset about. I'll be down for that. But if Stephanie is healthy, then you got more options to play with.
Yes. I mean, look, I like Raquel Rodriguez fine. I think I'm just not that interested in terms of that. I'm interested in her character as she's trying to be basically like female Kevin Nash.
Yeah. Big
right?
mommy cool.
Right. And doing everything kind of like she kind of moves the same way. Her finisher is essentially the same thing. It's a power bomb. It's just named differently.
The headband, the sunglasses.
The headband, like literally, she's almost cosplaying as Kevin Nash right now, which like Kevin Nash is one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
But there's something about her that is still it still feels very ever since she it feels very not vanilla is kind of where I'm what I wanted to say initially, but it feels mean, but it's just like I just don't buy it yet, I suppose. Right? Where it's just Stephanie Vaquer has that whenever you see her in the ring, even cutting promos where English isn't her first language, like there's just a star power about her where you're like, I understand why you are champion. Right. And maybe that's not fair because it's an intangible and it's like not quantifiable. So it's like, how do you get better? But sometimes it's just it is what it is.
Yeah.
In wrestling, there's just certain things you can't explain where, again, by all accounts, if you took a casual who has never seen wrestling and you put Stephanie Vaquer and Raquel Rodriguez next to each other and you said, who do you think is champion? Most people would probably say Raquel Rodriguez. Just no talking. No, you don't see a match. Just on paper, you would think Raquel. She's more physically imposing. She's taller. She's very striking. But man, there's something about Stephanie. That is just next level where I just don't buy it. So that's just where I'm at.
All right, Ben, take these two. You know, I told you, Ken, it's gonna happen. Noob, I don't think the E sees Kairi Sane as a big deal as a main event star, like Asuka, who was a legend, or Io Sky, who was over, or Julia, who is 2-time women's U.S. champion. So I guess he's saying Kairi Sane is like so below the radar that they don't see her as a big star.
That's a good point. I mean, it is unfortunate that they don't see. They've almost been treating her as like they have been treating her as Asuka's sidekick essentially, right? She just gets yelled at every week, and it's unfortunate because she can go whenever she's in the ring. She's dynamic, right? Like that insane elbow is actually insane, and it's fun to watch every single time. It would be interesting I think WWE needs to almost like beta test it with Kairi and put the Intercontinental title on her. Put like one of those mid-card titles to see could she carry, a singles title. And you could build a story around that too, right? Where, she wins the Intercontinental title just because they're on Raw, right?
Yeah.
And how her and Asuka could be beefing over because then Asuka's now all of a sudden jealous that her sidekick and her number 2 is a champion and she's not, right? There's a story that you could build there. Now, could that then be elevated to the world championship picture? I don't know, but this is Kairi's second go around with the company, right? She left for a while, came back, and she can go, and this is almost her first attempt outside of kind of the pirate character, where she's she's trying to do stuff, right? It's a bit of a comedy act. It's a bit of she's being manipulated act, which both classic wrestling tropes. But I'd be interested to see a Kairi run because there is something about her that is just it's dynamic when you watch her on the screen. I don't know how you guys feel.
Let me get to this next one real quick. Speaking of the women's tag team division, how about the possible breakup of the Kabuki Warriors? And I'm going to ask everyone the question: is Asuka versus Kairi a WrestleMania match?
I mean, you weren't joking. This dude
I told you.
All the Asuka questions.
Not a Mania match, but I would give it like maybe a Backlash match, maybe somewhere down the line. I mean, I would still save that for Asuka and Io if we get to that possibly. But I say that would happen when they break apart, but I would give it like a Backlash, maybe a SummerSlam match if we get further down the line with this.
Yeah, I think Asuka and Io is the match that we are looking for. But what do you think, B? Asuka Kyrie, is that a WrestleMania match for you?
Not a one-on-one. I don't
Okay.
think there's just enough room for it. I think if you wanted to include them in a multi-woman match, right, whether it's a ladder match or something, and that they're all vying for, like, I'm just gonna throw the Intercontinental title out there just because it's there,
Mhm.
right? And they have a moment where they're both climbing the ladder. Asuka's gonna miss her. Kyrie's dropping an elbow that's meant for someone else. She hits Asuka. There's stuff you could build around there.
Yeah.
A one-on-one match, I would give that like a 3% shot, maybe 2. But I think them breaking up is because I think they're setting up for the breakup, right? The manipulation of Asuka of Kyrie is, again, just one of those classic wrestling tropes where you can't wait to see Asuka get her come up. So and Kyrie give it to her, but I don't think it's a one-on-one at Mania situation.
I think it's more Asuka, Io, and then you probably see Kyrie side with Io at Mania, and then
Sure,
she'll make
yeah.
Asuka lose, or she'll.
I can see that
right
more.
there. Yeah,
yeah.
That's more. Sorry, noob. You're not getting Kyrie. Asuka at Mania. I'm sorry. Maybe like Kenny said, Backlash. You know what I'm saying? Little what else they got going on? Fucking
Judgment Day
or some shit, like
Money in
Raw.
the Bank.
That
Maybe
might
a
be
Raw match.
Yeah, the Raw after Mania, maybe.
There you go, Raw after Mania. You know what? When Io beats Asuka at Mania because of Kyrie, then you do an Asuka and Kyrie at the Raw. Come on. I should be seeing you in Unreal, man. Come on, not these other guys. Come on, that was crazy. Have you seen it? Have you seen Unreal? Anything yet or no?
I haven't watched it yet. It's on my. It just came out today, right? Today's Tuesday.
Yeah, it came out today.
It just came out today, so I'll get to it. I've convinced my wife to watch it with me because she's a casual wrestling fan, so she'll watch with me sometimes. I was like, I think you'll like that. I also think someone sent me a screenshot that I'm in one of the episodes. So
really,
shout out to my boy Miles. I think it's the it was the Raw after Mania. Ironically, we were just talking about that.
Okay,
but there's a shot of when Gunther is attacking Pat McAfee
and Michael Cole.
Oh.
And he's ringside, and then remember how like all his crew jumps over the railing to save him. Me and Kaz are sitting right behind them.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a shot somehow of me. Well, Kaz is he's legit like 6'5" or something, and my short ass is next to him. So I think there's a shot of us just like going, "Oh shit," as the Pat McAfee crew jumps over. But check it out. my new claim to fame.
So real quick, I did see episodes 1 and 2 of Unreal. I think there's 5 of them. So I saw 2. We got to Becky Lynch and her WrestleMania comeback. There's Naomi with the Money in the Bank, and there's the backstory of her and Mercedes Sasha Banks walking out back in 22. The R-Truth of it all, when he got released and got brought back. There's Seth Rollins in there, and then there's a part of where I guess the one part that I saw on social, like at fucking midnight, because everybody's putting out clips of before I even see shit, where there's a couple of writers in the room. Hunter, there's Bro Dog, other people, Bruce, and then we'll talk about giving back Chelsea Green the U.S. Championship, right? From Zelina, but Hunter was asking Road Dogg, all right, if you do that, who do you have lined up for Chelsea to go up against? And obviously, social makes a big thing because Road Dogg was like something like, I don't know, and it's like everybody felt a certain way. Like, how do you in that room and don't know? I mean, listen, I'm not saying that's an easy job. I think any one of us could be in there and we're going to be like, damn, I don't know what to do with XYZ. You are going to have those days. But I guess when cameras are on you, Netflix and this and that, and then when they hear like someone in the writer room say, I don't know what to do with this talent, it can throw people off. So that was like the main clip I saw circulating on social when it came to Chelsea Green, and I was like, fuck it, man. Like I tweeted somebody. I said, this is what I would do with Chelsea Green. You have her win Money in the Bank in I think in September. You give her a prominent role in the Royal Rumble. Don't let her be thrown out so quick. Like give her like Final 4, Final 6, 8 in that kind of territory. You could turn a babyface to give someone like a Jay Cargill someone to go up against, because there's so many heels on the SmackDown roster that you can now switch it up. There's the rumor that, okay, if you keep her heel, there's a rumor that formerly of the Iconics, they're free agents. So
they are, yeah. They're wrapped up with TNA.
They go under the inspiration with TNA. And those two are just like Chelsea Green clones, bro. Like, yo, you gotta put those two, if you signed them, put them in the secret harvest with Chelsea Green. And just that whole dynamic right there, come on, that's jokes galore. Like that's the character of Chelsea. What Billy Ray and
Billy Kay,
and
Cassie Lee, yeah,
and Peyton Royce, Cassie Lee.
Peyton Roy,
you put those three together. That's comedic gold. Then I said something like, you know, she can cash in at a certain time for Money in the Bank. Like there's some options you can do with Chelsea Green, because she's one of those talents that it's like basketball. It's like Phoenix Suns don't run a play for Sean Marion. They didn't have to.
Right.
He just go out there and just do you.
You figure it out.
You figure it out, because
you get yours.
At the end of the day, I'll get 18 points. I get 14 rebounds. I get 5 steals. 4. Like, you are jack of all trades, and I think that's what Chelsea Green is. Like she can do whatever, whenever. Champion, cool. Not champion, great. I'm still gonna go out there and deliver. So someone like her should be very easy to write for, but just when they showed that clip, it was like, damn. You know what I'm saying?
Really unfortunate, because to your and if it was any other character or person, you kind of almost understand. I get it. It's really hard to come up with creative every single week.
Oh yeah,
right. For a plethora of people. I think it's probably just doubly not great on Road Dogg's end, because with Chelsea, to your point, she could do anything, right? And she's down to do anything. You were there when we interviewed her at SummerSlam, and
she was awesome.
One of the main takeaways, ironically, we just come off Unreal Season 1, and she was like, she just is. She was in that stage early in WWE where she was just trying to get on TV, right?
Yeah,
and find these things, but she's not. She's one of the very few now who are just unafraid of looking stupid on TV.
Exactly,
which is very tough to come about. Right. But that's also why, she's in these spots. That's why she's now 2-time US champion. And if she were to win Money in the Bank, it's believable at this point, right? She's taken some of the most insane spots that you've ever seen, right? That ladder spot that she had, was that in the ladder match last year where she fell through all the tables that were ringside, or was that 2 years ago?
I think it might be 2.
2 years ago, Tiffany Stratton pushed her off.
Yeah, Tiff pushed her off. It was still, it was when Tiffany won. It was still insane, right? And you just think about these things. You think about, and maybe this is not fair because this was not a WWE match, but I think about her in the Penta Lucha Underground, right? And you're just like, how is she not world champion?
Not yet.
I don't know. Not yet. Maybe it's coming. Maybe it's gonna be an insane pop, and we're all gonna go nuts. Which, by the way, sidebar, I will, if Cardona ever wins a title, I'll also go nuts. But I think they both deserve it.
Yeah.
But Chelsea is the one where, again, I think that's why Road Dogg's catching a lot of heat for this, because it's like, you could literally drop the worst creative idea, and she will make what's the phrase? It's like she will make
chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Yeah, that thing.
There
you
go. All
salad out of chicken shit.
Yeah,
I'll make chicken salad out of chicken shit. Like whatever you give me is this dog shit.
Yeah,
never.
It's a weird saying.
I've never heard that chicken salad. Chicken. I've heard turn lemons into iced tea or something or whatever. But chicken salad.
It's the same variation.
It's the
same saying, is different variation.
Yeah. I ain't hear that variation. Keep that where it at. In the
chicken shit's crazy.
Word, like chicken salad out of chicken shit. I need you to go somewhere else to get your food ready.
Before we wrap it in a bit, Kenny, talk to me about what you've seen. Matter of fact, I apologize. So I guess both of you, what is your overall take of seeing Unreal? Like, do you like the backstage stuff being shown, going behind the curtain, seeing how everything is laid out, the emotions and how this is planned and we changed this? Like, as fans, are you in favor of this Hard Knocks kind of vibe that they're showing you, or are you more like, I'm cool, but maybe I don't want to see everything?
Kenny, go first. I'm collecting my thoughts.
I'm kind of like what you said second, Randy. It's interesting to watch. It's there. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna watch it, but I would like to just be surprised by the magic. Let me keep the mystery behind. Let me keep the one. I know this is the sports entertainment. This is gonna keep us. I know the characters. I know this build. Let me keep the imagination going. Let me keep it. Let me just keep it. Some things are best left unsaid. Some things we don't always need to see. Some things just need to stay in the dark. I mean, like, I'm on right now, so I finished 1 and 2.
Yeah, me too.
Like, the whole thing about truth, I was like, damn, I almost kind of didn't almost need to see this. Like, this was like talking about, like, they really just talking about like the logistics, the contract, talking about truth that, he's older. And he's trying, it's everyone's trying to, looks like to me he's trying to save face and try to seem politically correct or not trying to seem like a dick or seem like a heartless person. But we know business is business, and we don't really need to hear that within the business now, especially, who WWE is ruled under now. This whole Unreal thing is only happening because they're now having allegiance to Netflix. And that's probably why within this deal, they was like, all right, Raw is going to be streamed on Netflix, but we also want to see like behind the scenes of your product and your brand. And that would boost our ratings, but also you will increase your ratings too. That's like peeling back the door to a secret key that you guys have been hidden. But
it's crazy, Ken, the fact that Truth told Benjamin and his crew like that same story back in August about the.
Oh, you were in the room for that. You heard that.
I was in the room, and then I'm taping. I'm like, oh, I'm finding out in real time, and you just see his emotions and just being serious, like how crazy it was that happened to him, and how everything just flipped kind of quick. Like, you were released, and the fans had an uproar. This ain't right. And by the time you know it, boom, they got a deal done. He's back, and it's like, but still, him telling that story in the room was like, oh shit, like,
I'm like,
damn, real life,
it's real
life shit.
I'm like, dang, some things like that. I'm like, that's really, really personal. Like that was like, I'm thinking like, oh man, was this work or is this? I'm like, yo, I could have kept it without, knowing that. I would have kept it. I would have been better without knowing that.
Okay, look at Ice. He said, I refuse to watch Unreal. It's too much.
Hey, I feel you sometimes. Like, some things I'm like, damn, I wish I didn't have to know that. Like, come on, let me keep the prediction. I didn't need to know all that.
So what you're not a fan of, if I'm wrong, tell me. Like, obviously we want to see how things are, like, you want to see the backstage of it all, how things get prepared, but not like how they work together to do the finish and how it's predetermined and everything's choreographed. And is that the part you don't you're not a fan of, or what parts are you a fan of when you see that?
I'm, with them, I like the support, like how all they show each other. Like we know that they all don't hate each other in real life, hopefully.
Yeah.
But like, the support they
Some
have
of them
for each
do.
other. Some of them do. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like how they all like, it's a big, welcome. They all try to build each other up, but it's the politics that we come for. Like we see them in the writing room thinking about, to your point, y'all's point, what they saying about Chelsea. We like, what they saying about Chelsea, and then what they're going about saying about Cena, Truth versus Cena. And now I'm at episode 3. When they're talking about the Money in the Bank match. They just finished the women's one. Now they're about to do the men's one. I'm just like, oh, so we're just peeling back layer by layer. So, we all thought LA Knight was going to win it, but Seth eventually wins it. So let's see how. I'm like, I don't know. Some things I don't need to be seen, especially because these cameras, sometimes you got to like, oh, you want it to be real, but I could feel like some of them, like they're putting on what the cameras want to see. They don't want to fully be open to it. Like I know CM Punk, he says he did it the first season, and he's like, now he says, I think he said somewhere, he's like, I just try to avoid those cameras the whole time. And Paul Heyman's the one specifically that said in the beginning, I don't like doing this shit. I believe that you got to really hide your craft. We made money off of this by being secret and private of what we did. Yeah. That's one thing, but I'm like 50-50.
Benjamin, for you, I just don't understand how you can promote this show on a live episode of Raw. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. I mean, it's on Netflix. Can you mention it's Netflix?
It's WWE content. You know what I mean? They got to promote their own shit. This is where I've landed on Unreal. Most of this shit, as the marks that we kind of already knew, right? I mean, like the thing that we probably didn't, where we all got duped, was probably the Seth injury, or right, the fake one, right, where we were all caught up. But we all read, to some extent, we all kind of read dirt sheets, right? We all see rumors on Twitter. If you're that deep of a mark. Unreal isn't that much of a deviation from seeing some shit that Meltzer or Sean Ross Sapp will report, right? It's just if you choose to navigate those lanes. I've also come around to the fact that I think Unreal is not for wrestling fans, like diehard wrestling fans. I think we all watch it because it's WWE programming, and it's probably like, oh, we should probably watch this.
It's for the casuals.
It's for the casuals because, and I've experienced this again. This is very anecdotally. This is just very within my own circle of my own life. But there have just been, and maybe we're coming off the Christmas, holiday season where you just see a lot of people who you don't normally see. They know what I do for work, and they're like, I was talking to someone over Christmas break. Or the end of December, basically, where they're like, we just watched Unreal and we loved it, season 1, because they don't watch wrestling week to week like I do, right? They're like, just the backstage politics and how they make X, Y, and Z it's so fascinating. So like, for us, it's like, we can have these debates about, are we peeling the curtain back too far? Is it, that's a normal debate, I think, within the wrestling community and with marks like us. But I think for casuals, for those who don't watch wrestling, they're like, oh, this is a documentary about something that I don't fully understand or know anything about. So they're just getting very surface levels for us, from our perspective, from the three of our perspective, very surface level things. But for them, it's like, oh, we're getting a behind the scenes peek at how the sausage is made. You know what I mean? So it's entertaining from that standpoint. I was entertained by the fact that they were entertained, but season 1 was just all about it was the Chelsea of it, the Mania stuff, and like all the shit that we had known about.
But the Cena heel turn, that was probably the
right.
one.
The Cena heel turn was interesting, like how that all came about, how Triple H was he was calling it, blah blah. So I think that's why people people really liked it. Like, again, non-wrestling fans really enjoyed it because they get to see, because all they think, the non-wrestling fans who don't watch it on a week-to-week basis, it's the F word, right? And they're like, it's fake. All of a sudden you see this documentary that is it's the production value is fantastic. The access that you get is fantastic, right? The kind of the authenticity that you get from the wrestlers is pretty fantastic, right? I mean, and it's no one's cutting a promo that's either heel nor babyface. It's really just like they're themselves. So I've come around to this was not made for us. I'm still going to watch it because we got to talk about it because we're fans of wrestling. But you're like, it's, for me, WWE Unreal is the NBA All-Star Game. It's like, this is an exhibition.
And it's not made for the fans. It's made for the corporate people.
No, it's not real. This is not a real game. It doesn't count, right? You're not going to get the actual version of the product that is out there on a night-to-night basis. But it's a version of it that is, in theory, supposed to be entertaining because we're putting our biggest stars in front of you. We're explaining things to you in such a way that you, as a casual, will understand and maybe want to stick around for it. So that's where I've just come around to where Unreal is.
Randy, hit the horn for that. That was some deep shit, bro.
Hold on.
There we go.
That was a real good analogy, yo. I ain't got nothing to say.
My last thing, Benjamin, before I get you out of here. Because it's about to be 11:35 East Coast time. I know Kenny works tomorrow. We do have Saturday night main event coming up this Saturday. As of right now, only 3 matches are on the card. So we do have the Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu of it all. We also have Rio, which is Rhea and Io, against Liv Morgan and Roxanne for the Women's Tag Team Championship. And of course, we have the Fatal 4-Way with Randy Orton, Trick Williams, Damian Priest, and Sami Zayn. The winner gets Drew McIntyre for the Undisputed Championship at the Royal Rumble. Who do you have winning these matches, beginning with Cody and Jacob?
I think I got Cody. Actually, no. Sorry. Initially, I had Cody.
Okay.
I think I'm going Jacob because this is Jacob's first match.
Like clean? Is it shenanigans?
I think it's clean, man. Ooh. I think it's clean.
Okay.
Because I think they're trying to build Jacob as a pseudo babyface in his own right. Right. I think he cost Cody the title. He's getting a receipt, but he also had legit beef with Drew because, by all accounts, he's the reason he got taken out of that match that they were supposed to have to be #1 contender. Right. This was the San Jose. I was at that SmackDown where this happened. Like the reports came out that Jacob was actually injured. I think he had a dental issue or whatever.
Surgery.
Yeah. So he had legit beef with Drew. Now, in the process of him trying to get his lick back, he cost Cody the title. So I get why Cody's upset. This match makes a lot of sense. Jacob's first match back, I don't know if you could have him lose right away. Cody is so Teflon right now. He could lose 3-4 PLE matches in a row. I know there's not 3 or 4 left before Mania, but he could lose a bunch of matches in a row where it's like it doesn't. If he won the Rumble, you'd be like, all right, you're good. So I think Jacob's actually going over in this one.
So are you upset as a fan that we, to this day, as of January 20th, do not know who attacked Jacob Fatu?
They didn't answer it, which is correct. They didn't give a firm answer. But the fact that Jacob went after Drew first in that cage match, I feel like that's the answer. And maybe I'm just being presumptuous, but I feel like it was true.
It's like Jade attacking Naomi, like, oh shit, like it's got to be her because she went after
right
her.
Because she went after her first, right? So I feel like when Jacob's been to prison, man. Like if it wasn't Drew, he would have shanked somebody else.
Oh, come on.
But I'm saying, like, at least show me some evidence, some video surveillance.
Sure,
Hey,
give me something.
Like,
But we never got it. We never got it with Naomi.
I
Right?
know.
We just got her
It
admitting
was-
it. It was a
It
verbal
was
admission.
you, Cody.
I mean, like, where's the footage? There's not
It
one.
could have been.
video
You're right.
evidence.
It could be Cody, which would be
You're
hilarious.
damn right. It was me,
It could have
Jacob.
been Cody. Just imagine it. Imagine if it was Cody.
Oh, it would be phenomenal. It's just he has another tattoo on his neck of Jacob Fatu, like
Yeah.
keeled over and dying.
The American asshole.
Kenny, who you have, Cody or Fatu?
Like I said, I have. I think Fatu will win based off. There's gonna be some shenanigans. There might be some shenanigans might happen. This might go undecided.
Though? But what
This
are
might
the
be
shenanigans? Who's getting
this
involved?
might
True.
They might be Drew might get involved. This might go undecided. This might be a count out. This could be a DQ.
Ooh, a double count out.
A double count out where
There you go.
Fatu's just go, yo, I'm about to go Bay Area, beat the hell out of you. And Cody's like, then Cody might just
You know what I mean?
unleash that this ruthless character that we were seeing, not this, not the jean, not the sweatsuit, the sweatpants wearing. Randy hates that. Like, what if starts becoming, very ruthless as the Nightmare? Like he might be.
I'd fuck with that. I really enjoy that.
The Nightmare versus the Werewolf, so that could be some double wordplay. They just beat the hell out of each other in a double count out. We have no decision, but if so, I could lean more to Fatu. Cody can take the loss in this one.
Hold up, sidebar. I just saw someone tweet out probably an hour ago. So in episode 3, so we're jumping ahead into episode 3 of Unreal real quick. They said that there was a portion when Michael Hayes in episode 3 regarding Chelsea Green, that she's the type of talent who prepares women to be main event players. And this person felt that that's straight up bullshit because Chelsea Green should be in the same conversation as Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, Bianca, Becky, Steph, Rhea, Naomi. She's legit one of the best female wrestlers they have and one of the most overall entertaining talents on the roster. If she does not win Money in the Bank in 2026, that will be an absolute travesty because she's earned it.
They're not wrong. Her with the briefcase, I'm sure we'll have this conversation in a couple of months, but her with the briefcase would be an incredible character. Are you kidding me?
And it was
her teasing it. It would the pop that she would receive when she actually cashes in would be unreal. Not to no pun intended. It would just be unreal. Like I actually think it would be crazy.
Really unreal, yeah.
Phenomenal.
Like, actually unreal. Yeah.
Yeah. And they'll sell the briefcase. The fans love the hats that she be wearing, like cheese.
Right. You can salute she'll like salute with the briefcase,
Like once she goes babyface, it is like it's so much potential you have. As a heel, she can do that. As a face, is like it's just the unknown, but there's so much potential for that.
But I mean, you saw it when we talked to her, man. Like her personality is just so genuine. Where you're like, and she has this likability factor about her that is, I think when they decide to flip that switch and she goes babyface and is no longer this chicken shit heel is going to be, it's gonna be wild. I think she's gonna be so over.
She's the definition of like how the kids say nowadays. I bet.
Yeah.
So we want you to go out there and just embarrass yourself. I bet. We want you to go out there and just lose to whoever. Say less. I bet.
Yeah.
We want you to be champion. I bet. We want you to go to Mexico and go to AAA. I bet. Sign me up. Like she'll just do whatever, whenever, because she's the character she has. She does not want to wrestle. That's the whole point of it. She wants to just like be champion and don't defend nothing. That's the character. But now as a face, when that time she wins Money in the Bank, bro, the pop will go crazy.
That'd be insane. It'll be insane.
It'll be insane.
It's gonna be Dolph Ziggler-esque when she cashes in. Remember when he cashed in? That's the one to this day is probably my favorite cash in.
Different convo for a different day, Ben.
Yeah.
Real quick to wrap it up. Okay, so who do you have? Io and not that one. Okay, Io and Rhea, or Liv and Roxanne?
I'm going Rhea and Io. They've got something cooking with them that is just special. You could run this back at some point, right? Where there's probably, I feel like there's gonna be shenanigans here where Raquel gets involved. She may cause Liv and Roxanne the match by accident, where she's trying to help. But Rhea and Io, I think they're going into Mania with the tag titles, and I think this tag title match is going to be at Mania is going to be as star-studded as any other match on there. It could be one of these like 6-team ladder matches, right? So it's
Ben, stop. Yo, I swear on everything we love. This man Kenny's been saying for 2 straight weeks. I got the video. He was saying, yo, you get Rhea Io, you get Charlotte Alexa, you get, let's say Liv and Roxanne are part of it, which I would hate because I want Liv to be world champion. Let's say they're part of it. Nia, Lash, you get all these tag teams.
Bayley, Lyra,
and you put them in a ladder match at WrestleMania. And I said, I one up you. I said, yo, do a TLC because in April it'll make the 25th anniversary of the first ever TLC match at a WrestleMania. So
do it.
What do you, we don't work there.
Yeah,
but tell PSA.
But that's money. You
Unreal season 3. Put me on.
You know what I'm saying? You put in all of them, Meech and BFAB. There's so many teams you could make and still have a compelling enough. I mean, Asuka and Kyrie. What's our guy's name? What's our guy's name? Noob.
Yeah.
No, there you go. I just booked Asuka at Mania for you in an epic match. So there's so many ways we could go with this in the tag division that I don't think that Rhea and Io are dropping it quite yet, because I think them going into Mania with these titles is going to be super important.
But I definitely want to give Kenny his flowers. So in the event they pull this off and become a ladder match, I'm gonna say, yo, bro, my man up top right here said that shit a long time ago. So we'll see how that match goes. In stone. He said ladder match. I said TLC. But if we get one off,
whatever.
We're all gonna win.
We all eat. Like
it makes sense. Yeah,
we all eat.
Yo.
Last point. We are having the Fatal 4-Way. The winner gets Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble for the undisputed WWE Championship. Sammy, Priest, Trick, or Randy Orton. Benjamin, who do you got?
I'm going Sammy.
Okay.
Because again, they don't have that much time to build this story for Rumble. I think you go with Sammy, and there's already kind of the internal story built in of how Sammy's basically never beaten Drew, right? Drew dropped the numbers on SmackDown. I forgot what it is. Yeah, where he just hasn't beaten, or Sammy hasn't beaten him. So you can kind of go in with that. So again, I don't think Sammy's going to win against Drew necessarily, but of the 4 guys, he would make the most sense. I would love to see them put Trick over. I know they're not going to, because it would make sense, 2 heels going against each other. Yeah, but Trick would be the one where it'd be insane. Just because again, Rock gets strapped to his back. Sammy makes the most sense. And to kind of give him that shot on this run because I think Drew's going to hold the title until at least Mania. Giving Sammy this shine, like a world title match at Rumble in Saudi. It's a pretty big spot for Sammy that I think is pretty deserved at this point. So I'm going Sammy.
I picked Sammy. Kenny picked so my boy Terrence, he picked Priest because he's trying to think outside the box, and they had the history too. Trick is too early, and I think Orton went to Kenny, right?
Yep, I picked Randy.
So he picked Randy Orton, which is not bad. I mean,
be a good match too. That'd be a Saudi match. The Saudi Prince would like that.
But yeah, I think Sammy could be the guy. He's never been world champion. I don't think he'll win it. I think my boy Terrence also said Drew. He thinks Drew can have it till SummerSlam. I was like, okay. I mean, it's doable. You never know.
I mean, It's
That'd be nice because, like, you don't want the vibe like, all right, they're gonna drop it at a Mania all the time. And you let the people just feel like, you know what, I can walk in as champ at Mania and I can leave champion at Mania.
Miz retained against Cena once upon a time. You know what I mean?
Come on, man. Hall of Fame right there. My last question: who do you have winning the men's Royal Rumble?
Ooh, the men's Rumble right now. Jeez,
That's right.
This is a great question. I'll also, by the way, just a sidebar. I think it's so funny when people declare for the Rumble. Like, it's like people announcing they're showing up for work. Right.
Like,
you're coming. You're coming to work. Fantastic. If I had to pick a winner right now, oh boy, I'm gonna go. This may be a cop-out answer. I think I'm gonna go Cody. I think he's gonna win 3. I think he's going 3 in a row. Yeah.
I know. I got the proper.
Enough.
It's a boring answer. I admit it. It's a boring answer. But they put Cody in he dropped the title on a SmackDown. You know what I mean? Like, they got to give him something, and I think they'll give him the 3 in a row. That's where I'm at least right now, as of January 20th. I'm going Cody.
But not 3 in a row. He'll have 3. He'll
have 3. Sorry, he'll have 3. Sorry, Jay didn't win it. Jay won it last year. He'll have 3.
All right, cool. If Cody wins, then I need Roman Reigns to win the title before Mania, and then they run it back for the 3rd time. Because what are we getting? Cody Drew again? Are we getting Cody and Punk? I don't know. But if you have Cody walk into Mania as the challenger, I know he's better in chase mode, but it's like I think that's a little too early to
wait. Sorry, no, I take it back. It's Braun Breaker. It's Braun Breaker.
Hey,
as I was processing this, I was like,
my God.
Because I do think when you mentioned Roman, when I was thinking about Mania earlier, I was like, I think it might be Roman Cody. And I think that's a match. I don't think it's gonna be for a title. So now that I'm thinking it through, I do think I'm gonna say Braun Breaker. Locking it in. Give me your hit a button. Do you have a button over there? There we go.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker.
But I am gonna get that locked in sound. Are you sure you locked in? You locked in?
Braun Breaker is my new pick. He got suspended. He's freshly suspended. You know, he's come back with new energy.
Who would you pick to win the Rumble?
I said either Braun or Sammy. I said Braun or Sammy.
Sammy's a good one.
I say either Braun Breaker or Sammy. And that depends on how the outcome. I think either one of those two might win.
I would say Braun card subject to change. My winners could change, but I think Braun. I would say Roman Reigns. Don't do that. Go listen. Roman's been out the title picture far too long. Far too long.
He is, but he's strong enough that he still doesn't need it.
Because then you're looking at Roman Punk or Roman Drew in theory.
Yeah.
He wouldn't go after Drew. He would go after Punk.
But unless Drew drops it at Chamber, which I think would be stupid, but it could happen. Cody get the rematch at Chamber and win it. We don't know.
Cody's not going for the title at Mania.
Yeah, I feel like Cody's gonna be out.
I mean, after seeing Unreal, you have no idea what the fuck happened. You know what I'm saying? You have no idea, bro.
That's
aside from Roman and Braun. I know I'm missing someone that Sammy could be another a winner.
LA Knight's probably someone we should throw in the mix. Is like because he's been missing for a while. Jay, I don't think he's going to. He's not going to go back to back. And I think those are kind of the realistic. I mean, you could say, I guess Brock. Brock is the wild card where if that music hits, you got to think who's eliminating this dude.
But it's going to be a very
short list. It's a
very star-studded. If you start naming names, oh wow, like Logan Paul gonna be in it, Braun Reed,
all the Visions will be in it.
The only thing I would worry about for Braun Breaker is if Seth is like ahead of schedule with the recovery, and you might fuck around and do Seth and Braun at WrestleMania only if they feel all right. Seth can be good in the next 3 months because the story sells itself.
Yeah, I don't.
Right.
That injury. Man, watching that back, that shoulder tackle he did.
Yeah.
On Cody was nasty. Like he just landed on that thing so bad.
Like boom.
Like in just the worst. Seth is one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
And that was probably one of the most, not clumsy, but it was just one of the most uncoordinated moments where you're like, oh, why did you land like that? Like
why
for
do
someone
that
who's
all in the first place?
Seth is my favorite wrestler in the game right now. And watching it just very much question the decision there to just jump like that. I don't think there's any way he's back at the Rumble. He's back maybe before Mania, but I don't know. I feel like he's like a post-Mania intro.
No, I don't think he'll be active. If I say come back real quick, it would have to be him making Braun lose kind of vibe. Not
sure. He cost him the match.
Yes,
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Braun can lose the Rumble and then go in the chamber, and then Seth can come out, attack him, boom. Then you have a Braun Seth joint only if they feel like he'll be back in time. But if he's not, then I think Braun is a high favorite to win the Rumble. But Benjamin, man, we love you, bro. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. You can follow Ben at Cruise Control with a K, Ringo Wrestling on all social media platforms. My boy Kenny Holt, Cowabunga _K_E_N, myself, Rainy J Cruz, RENDY. Letter J CRUZ. Find the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on Amazon Music. And most importantly, go to youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. Go ahead, download, rate, comment, like, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Show us some love and support for your boys on the program. From Kenny Holt, Randy Cruz, and Benjamin Cruz, we out.
Peace.
Yes, sir.
Peace.